to not make the mistake of feeling that one person can't make an impact and that what we eat isn't really that important, because, and it does sound hyperbolic, it sounds almost fantastical, or that I'm exaggerating, but what we put on our plate, what we put in our body, impacts far more than our own stomachs. It reaches around the world. It affects whether or not, children in developing countries are going to have enough to eat. It affects whether or not our planet is going to keep hurtling into destruction or it's going to have a chance to heal. It affects whether, it affects literally the lives of trillions of beings that we're consuming on an annual basis. It affects everything. And I think it's very easy for us to say, well, if I go vegan and I decide not to eat animals, like, I'm one person, what is that going to do? But environmentally alone, it's huge. And I've thrown these stats around before, but I looked at, if you're vegan for one year of being vegan, and this is by going at U.S. consumption rates of meat, dairy, and eggs for the year 2000. If we just look at water savings alone, this has nothing to do with land or species extinction or any of those other aspects, but water alone, 1 year of veganism, you save the same amount of water as if you didn't shower for 66 years if you're taking the 15-minute showers every day, or over 100 years, or close to 100 years if you're showering for 10 minutes a day with water-saving shower heads. So, we talk about, let's go green, we're going to take shorter showers, we're going to get this water-saving shower head, we're going to recycle, and the impact of not eating animals is astounding. Vegans use 1/6, I think it's 1/6 of the land of the meat eater, and eat 1/10 of the plant matter that a meat eater does, because when you're eating animals, you're not only responsible for your footprint, you're responsible for theirs as well. And so, all of the plants that go to feed them and all of the resources that go into that and growing that animal, is then taken on by the person consuming the animal. So the impact is huge. And especially for those animals that are going to be consumed, the impact is huge because they get to live. I think being vegan, deciding not to eat animals, and this is, again, the beauty of it is that it's an individual revolution. It's an individual decision, because there's a lot in our world. There's a lot of social injustice in our world. There's a lot of destruction, and a lot of it is not something that we can, as one person, necessarily make an immediate impact on. We have to lobby politicians, we have to fight governments, we have to do all of these things systematically, and it takes time and it takes effort and it takes hundreds and thousands of people. And while veganism and that revolution does take large groups to affect great change, the thing is that one person can decide anytime that I'm not going to eat animals anymore. I'm not going to eat their byproducts. And in that person doing that on their own, not even affecting anyone else, is making a huge difference. This is a revolution that starts at every meal that we have, and I think it would be a mistake to underestimate the impact of that. Because I think a lot of times as humans, we tend to think that if we can't change the world, then we might as well not try. And if and the thing is, if we all think that one person isn't going to make a difference, then we're not going to make a difference, because no one's going to do anything. But this is a revolution of the individual. We make change in this respect with what we eat and where we put our money, and that's unique to veganism. That it's something each of us can choose and each of us can do on an individual basis, even without needing anyone else's approval, and the impact is astounding. So that's, I guess, what I would say is don't underestimate the power of what you put in your mouth. It's huge, and it's far-reaching. So I think just being cognizant of that and knowing that we literally can change the world with every bite, which again, sounds a bit reductionist, but it's, when we look at the statistics, when we look at the reality, that's really what it is. If anyone wants more information or contact me, I have a website, bitesizevegan.com, and I'm also at youtube.com/bitesizevegan, and that's where I try to create educational resources for people. But so if anyone has any questions, wants help, wants information, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to help any way I can. There's nothing humane, there's nothing natural, there's nothing balanced about the way that we consume animals.